Laudato Si Basic Education Curriculum Integration as a mark of Catholic schools standards amidst the forces of climate change. The April 2019 seminar workshop entitled The Tipping Point on Reverse, Living Out Learning Plans Within and Beyond Classrooms in Asia was a response to the call of the nations for climate change mitigation measures, and most of all, of Pope Francis, who in May 2015 addressed all of humankind to take care of our common home. It was attended by at least 100 teachers and administrators of MAPSA and SAYAP member schools who responded to the invitation of His Eminence Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle for Catholic schools to recognize the urgency of learning how to teach children take care of Mother Earth in order to protect and sustain human life. The psychological and philosophical foundations of the Tipping Point Seminar workshop in understanding the nature of the child. How a child is made to think and feel about himself as he sees the world through his experiences at home and the environment outside his home, like the school, may define his view of life in his adult years. If all these experiences at home and in school is about violence, the child may learn to believe that the world is cruel and must be controlled, if not destroyed. Erik Erikson and Jean Piaget say a child is most pliant during the first 8 to 12 years of his life. These years are said to be most crucial in the formation of the human person, as highlighted by Erik Erikson in his psychosocial development theory and Jean Piaget's 4 stages of cognitive development theory. Aristotle and John Locke. Classical philosophers like Aristotle in his De Anima propose that the mind upon birth is a blank writing tablet, emphasizing that those faculties of the mind or soul are only potential or inactive before receiving ideas from the senses, respond to the ideas through an intellectual process, and convert them into knowledge. John Locke, in the 17th century, argued for the mind's initial resemblance to white paper, void of all characters, with all the materials of reason and knowledge derived from experience. Pope Francis, in his encyclical, the Laudato Si, stresses that to save humanity, everyone, including children, must take care of our common home. The legal foundations of the seminar workshop. The 1987 Philippine Constitution. Our fundamental law, the 1987 Philippine Constitution, particularly in Article 16, Section 3.2 mandates the right of children to assistance, including proper care and nutrition, and special protection from all forms of neglect, abuse, cruelty, exploitation, and other conditions prejudicial to their development. This provision presents as paramount the protection of the child, his family, and the ecological environment that he is part of. Republic Act 9729, the Climate Change Act. The child needs to live in an ecology that is healthy and free from all forms of hazards and danger. Republic Act 9729, the Climate Change Act, in its Section 2, Declaration of Policy, that states, it is the policy of the state to afford full protection and the advancement of the right of the people to a healthy ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. Further, Republic Act 9729, Section 15, states that the Department of Education shall integrate climate change into the primary and secondary education curricula and or subjects such as, but not limited to, science, biology, civica, history, including textbooks, primers, and other educational materials, basic climate change principles and concepts. This law mandates that basic education schools need to integrate in the pre-K-12 curriculum the guiding principles and methodology in taking care of our home with the child as the center. The universal standards of excellence of Catholic schools. The central point of Catholic basic education is the formation of the child of God. The DepEd uses the phrase, the formation of the whole child. Catholic schools are committed to develop persons who value themselves and the world as God's gifts to them. As such, these sacred gifts are worth protecting, preserving, and sharing at the service of making God's kingdom reign on earth. The defining characteristics of Catholic schools flow directly from the Holy See's teaching in Catholic schools, 2006, as compiled by Archbishop J. Michael Miller, CSB, and from statement of Pope Benedict XVI and the American bishops. The characteristics indicate the deep Catholic identity of Catholic schools that serve as the platform on which their standards rest in 5 dimensions, such as mission and Catholic identity, governance and leadership, academic excellence, operational vitality, research-based, responsive, and relevant. The National Catholic Education Association in the US, with at least 150,000 active members, promotes the national standards and benchmarks for effective Catholic elementary and secondary schools, NSBECS, published in 2012 to serve as both a guide and assessment tool for the pre-12 K-12 Catholic school effectiveness and sustainability. They include research-based school effectiveness criteria as well as criteria unique to the Catholic school mission and identity. The NSBECS rests on the conviction that adhering to these standards with fidelity results in sustaining highly effective Catholic schools. The SEAP maps Philippine Catholic School Standards, PCSS. Carrying on the banner of Catholic Schools Excellence, the Philippines is the Catholic Educational Association of the Philippines, of which the Manila Ecclesiastical Parochial Schools Association is a member. It is composed of Catholic universities, colleges, and basic education schools of the country. It has published the Philippine Catholic School Standards, PCSS, in accordance with the global standards set by the Pope. There are 9 benchmarks of Catholic schools on which the curriculum of Catholic formation rests, and from which the core values of Catholic schools are drawn, such as centered in the person of Jesus Christ, contributing to the evangelization, which is the mission of the Church, distinguished by research-based excellence, committed to educate the whole person, steeped in a Catholic worldview, sustained by gospel witness, shaped by communion and community, accessible to all students, established by the authority of the bishop. The SEAP G Advocacy Manual. The SEAP has published the G Manual. This manual presents the orientation framework of living out the core value of Catholic education by upholding and actively advocating in human relationships, justice, ecological integrity, engaged citizenship, poverty alleviation, gender equality, and youth empowerment. These advocacies are aligned with the core values of the DepEd: maka-Diyos, maka-tao, maka-bansa, and maka-kalikasan. In the absence of guided attention, the philosophical, legal, and moral perspectives in upholding the standards of Catholic schools, amidst the demands of climate change and taking care of Mother Earth and her resident human cultures, can be exhausting cognitively, psychologically, and even spiritually on the part of the managers of basic education. Learning how to teach children to cope with national disasters and social unrest can be a painful stretch of knowledge and patience among teachers, parents, and students in basic education schools. The Tipping Point on Reverse seminar workshop was an experience that proved effective in helping teachers rationalize their tasks against prescribed standards of excellence, responding to the call of rallying together in taking care of ourselves and the Mother Earth in school and beyond. With my Assistant Director, Father Solomon Cardinero, on behalf of RCAMES Cluster 8, the organization lead convener, the Tipping Point on Reverse Seminar Workshop, I highlight the immense social and material capital that our collaborators invested on the success of the seminar workshop. I thank with deep appreciation His Eminence Luis Antonio G. Cardinal Tagle for his transformational leadership in promoting Laudato Si awareness in schools as president of MAPSA. Shown in his mandate for a 3-day Laudato Si seminar workshop penned by Reverend Father Nolan K., PhD, the chair of the MAPSA Commission Curriculum and Instruction. I appreciate deeply the lively presence of the delegates from the participating MAPSA SAYAP schools, our partners in the Department of Education, Bureau of Learning Delivery, and the DepEd Division of Bohol Kamayaan National High School, the Philippine College of Physicians, the SORZEM International Regenerative Development Company, with the Philippine Association of Researchers and Statistical Software Users, PARSO, and the MAPSA Executive Secretariat, the Global Climate Change Movers, Asia, and the Democratic Kingdom of Bhutan, the 4 pillars of gross national happiness, through Mr. Sonam Kobgei. We thank Most Reverend Bishop Teodoro Bacani Jr. for his lecture on Laudato Si for Humanity, an expression of faith and culture, and Monsignor Manuel Gabriel for redefining religion as the core of the curriculum. And lastly, but not the least, Rex Bookstore, the educational publisher that again showed during the 3-day event its hands-on advocacy in taking care of our common home. RCAMES Cluster 8 is pleased to be informed that Pope Francis has marked 2020 to May 2021 as the Laudato Si Jubilee for the Earth year. He will specially recognize Laudato Si schools that are concretely active in the implementation of the Laudato Si multi-year development rollout plan that intends to see its fruition by year 2028. An Araling Panlipunan and Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics source book, a journal and learner's teacher's guide with the theme of Caring for a Common Home will be launched in collaboration with Rex Bookstore by May 2021 for all basic education schools in the Philippines. The source book will also serve as the reference manual for the local government units in collaboration with local community schools and colleges in formulating and implementing the municipal and city comprehensive land use and forest use plans that roll out medium to long-term programs in caring for human communities, protecting local cultures and ecological environments. My dear colleagues in basic education, let us work together in this so we can confidently say, yes, we help in putting the tipping point on reverse.